Hello, my name is Tanya McNeil from the Southern Plains office, and today I have the pleasure of going through the face page and screening supplement of the ARMS 3 questionnaire. Between May and July of the reference survey year, the Integrated Screening Survey, also known as the ISS, was used to determine operators' eligibility for the ARMS 3 sample. NASA used previously reported data, or PRD, for screening in order to reduce respondent burden. PRD can be used if the operator completed a NAS survey between December of the previous reference survey year and June of the reference survey year. It is possible that there may have been some changes to the operation status since it was screened. Also, because an operation had PRD from the previous reference survey year, it doesn't mean that they were operating in the reference survey year. This is where the screening supplement, which will be discussed later in the presentation, will come into play. Now, let's take a look at the standard label. There's a lot of important information that can be found on the label. First, we have the state POI. This is an 11-digit identifier that NAS uniquely assigns to each record for identification. The first two digits are the state FIPS. The remaining 9 are unique but always start with a 1 for area records only, a 3, a 7, a 8, or a 9. Next, we will take a look at the online survey code. This is a code that an operator will need to access the ARMS 3 survey on the AdCounts website. Following, we can take a look at the OpDom status. This is used to identify your target operator. I will go over these status codes in more detail later. Following, we will have the operation name. This is the name of the farm or ranch. Not all records will have an operation name. In addition, there will be a person/operator name. This is individual, and it is used to identify the contact for this specific POI. There will also be phone numbers located on the labels. These are the phone numbers that we have on file when the label was printed. If we have any additional phone numbers, they will be available in your assignment listing in CAPI. All available information provided on the label can be found in the interviewer's manual. Something to note. For the most up-to-date contact information, check your CAPI listings under the little I icon and/or review any comments. The survey code is the code the operator needs to complete the survey online. The operator's copy of the questionnaire has the survey code printed in the upper left of the face page. As an enumerator, you can find the survey code on your printed copy of the questionnaire in 2 locations. The upper left corner of the face page, and as mentioned on the previous slide, in the printed label. As an enumerator with access to CAPI, you can also find the survey code by clicking the info icon and looking for the word survey code. As a general reminder, the website for the operators to report their data is at adcounts.usda.gov. Now we're going to dive into OpDom status. In NAS, we use OpDom status codes to identify the target operator. The target operator needs to be involved in the decision making in order to collect the data on ARMS 3 survey. We have 3 OpDom statuses. First one, and the most common, which makes up 95% of the national ARMS 3 sample, is OpDom 00. 00 means that the target is the person listed on the front of the questionnaire. The second is 8545. This means the operator has more than one operation and wants to report each operation separately to NAS. The target name will be the person listed as the operator on the front of the questionnaire. The final OpDom status is 99. This means there is something special about this operation, typically a large operation that has a hired manager. The target for OpDom 99 is always the operation name. Remember, the OpDom status is located under the state POI. In the next few slides, we will dig a bit deeper into each of the OpDom statuses and what it means for your ARMS 3 data collection. As we learned on the last slide, the target operator for an OpDom 0 record is the person named on the front page label. So in this example, our target is Hawkeye Pierce. Hawkeye only has one operation, and you are collecting data for the entire operation for the reference survey year. If Hawkeye is no longer involved in operating a farm, this questionnaire will be put in out of business, which I will talk about in a few minutes. The next OpDom status is 8545. 8545s make up 2% of the national ARMS 3 sample. On this label, the OpDom status is 45, which we have learned from a few slides back means that the operator has multiple operations that he wants to report separately. For example, a crop operation and a livestock operation both have been operated by the same person, but he is asked to report as two separate operations to NASS. For most operator dominance surveys, NASS will try to include all operations associated with a given target in the sample. But for ARMS 3, only one of those operations, either the OpDom 85 record or the OpDom 45 record, will be selected. Now, the next step is to figure out who our target is for these ARMS 3 records. Most 85-45 records are treated like the OpDom 0 records. The target is the person named on the label, but we are only looking to collect information from the operation listed. So in this example, our target is still Hawkeye Pierce, but we need to make it clear to Hawkeye that we only want him to report data pertaining to the Marsh Farms operation for this ARMS 3 survey. Hawkeye may have many operations, but it's your job to make sure he understands which operation we are obtaining data for. Ideally, each operation will have a unique operation names, but the 85-45 OpDom status is a light bulb clue that the operator has multiple operations. The last of our OpDom status is status 99. These managed operations make up 5% of the national ARMS 3 sample. Unlike our OpDom 0 and 85-45s, our target is no longer the person named on the label, but it is the operation's name. So on this label displayed, Marsh Farms is our target for this OpDom 99. When we talk to Hawkeye, we need to make it clear to him that we are only obtaining data for Marsh Farms and nothing else. Keep in mind, Hawkeye may have his own individual farm, but we are not concerned with that. We are only concerned about Marsh Farms, which Hawkeye manages. If Hawkeye is no longer managing Marsh Farms, please confirm with him that Marsh Farms is still in operation and attempt to get the new manager's contact information. As long as Marsh Farms is still operating, we can collect the data from the new manager. Alright, enough about the OpDoms. Let's talk about partners. All known partners are pre-printed on the questionnaire. Partners do not have a direct impact on the OpDom status of the record. OpDom statuses 0 and 85 and 45s can have partners. Please verify that all partner information is correct. Make necessary updates in CAPI and or on the paper form based on your region's instructions. OpDom 99 lists the manager for the operation. There may be other names found in the comments of whom could help complete the report if the manager is unavailable, but these individuals are not partners, nor should they be made partners. Remember, since partners also make the day-to-day decisions for the operations, they might be a good person to contact if the primary operator named on the label is unavailable to be contacted for the survey. This example shows how to add or delete a partner if you're collecting the survey on the paper questionnaire. For those entering directly into CAPI, you will use the Edit Address screen to make the updates. Please follow your region's specific instructions. Imagine with me the following situation. We have an OpDom 0 record. This is a partnership consisting of Hawkeye and Radar. You call and speak with Hawkeye, the target operator. Hawkeye informs you that he's working his way into retirement, but still helps with the farm and making decisions. He wants you to make his partner Radar the main contact for the operation, as Radar will eventually be taken over. In NASS, we call this a target switch. If you have this situation, here's how you handle it for your ARMS 3 survey. Write switch on the face page of the survey with a note stating that Hawkeye has stepped down but is still involved. Radar should be the main contact for the target. Since Hawkeye is still involved, complete the ARMS 3 survey. Now, let's imagine that same record, but this time Hawkeye says he's fully retired in December before I reference here. His partner Radar has taken over completely, and Hawkeye is no longer involved with the farm. This situation is different from the one that we went over due to the fact that Hawkeye is no longer involved during the reference survey year. With this situation, you would write OOB on the face page with a note that Hawkeye has stepped down completely and is no longer involved. You will then fill out a screening form for this record. you will not be completing this ARMS 3 survey. We will go over the screening form in the next slide. Again, this is an example for data collected on paper. Please follow the guidance of your regional office if you are entering data into CAPI. If you are unsure if a partner should do the interview, check with your RFO. Please write clear notes on the completed form, either on paper or in CAPI, and specifically which part of the year the partner took over the operation. If the target states that they are out of business, complete the screening supplement to ensure that zero agriculture activity was conducted by this target during the reference survey year. The screening supplement will step you through a series of yes or no questions. The yes or no questions will help you to prompt for any agriculture activity. If the target responds with a yes to any of the questions 1 through 4, by NASS definition, this operation is not out of business. If the target was in business at any time during the reference survey year, you will need to obtain as much information as you can for the time that the target was in business, and NASS will consider this operation as still in business for the purpose of the reference survey year in this ARMS 3 survey. If the target was truly out of business in the reference survey year, for example, if it was sold prior to January 1st of the reference survey year, you'll complete the survey screening supplements. Questions 1 through 4 will be answered no. Then you would obtain as much contact information for the new target/operator as you can, and then you will provide the screening supplement to your regional office as directed. Please write clear notes on the completed form, either on paper or in CAPI, to identify the part of the year that the operation was in business. Here is an example of part of the year operations. For example, a floriculture operation that went out of business in April of the reference year might have a lot of revenue for all the sales from Valentine's Day and Easter, but might not have a lot of expenses. Another example would be a commercial dairy that goes out of business during the first half of the reference year. They might have a lot of milk sold during the reference year, despite having no milk cows at the end of the year. Making it clear when the operation went out of business will help statisticians in your regional office make sense of these unusual data relationships. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to the face page and screening supplement of your ARMS 3 training.